Okay, welcome back. So this presentation brings to you the last content, that is the pelvic girdle and the hind legs of Hoplobatrachus tigrinus. Now this is a figure and a picture of pelvic girdle you can see over here. This is the complete pelvic girdle and this is the figure labeled figure. And this is one part of the figure, one part of the pelvic girdle shown, and here you can see the figure of that, labeled diagram of that. So we'll see the structure in detail now. The pelvic girdle lies in the posterior region of the trunk and it gives support to the hind limbs. And as you can see, it is V-shaped and it is composed of two similar halves. This is one half over here and this is the second one. These two together joins over here at this region, and each half is referred as os innominatum. Okay, it is os innominatum, and each os innominatum is composed of three bones: the ilium, here you can see this is the ilium, the pubis and the ischium. Okay, the ischium is actually this part, and when you see from this side you will be able to see the ischium proper. Okay, so ilium, ischium and pubis, it forms the three parts of os innominatum. Okay, so you have a pelvic girdle with two ilia, two ischia and two pubis. So this forms a disc and the acetabulum. Okay, now ilium is greatly elongated part and forms a major part of the os innominatum. It runs forwards to meet the transverse process of ninth vertebrae. Okay, so the ninth vertebrae extends like this. Okay, this is here it will be the centrum and the transverse process extending laterally, meeting the iliac region. I hope you remember the iliac. The extreme end of the transverse process, they have the iliac crest, isn't it, for the articulation with the iliac portion. So the ninth vertebrae is situated in this way, and here you will be finding the urostyle. Okay, so this part is actually occupied by the urostyle, and it meets over here. You can see the articular surface for urostyle. So the urostyle, the tip of the urostyle, it rests over here. Okay, so this is how the placement is. So the what you call the ilium, it bears a prominent dorsal vertical ridge. It is known as the iliac crest. You can see it is not clearly visible over here, but in the figure it is being marked. It is iliac crest. It is a prominent ridge, and both the ilia fuse posteriorly. You can see anteriorly it is free and posteriorly it fuse together and form the anterior and the upper half of the disc and acetabulum. So laterally, if we see, this is the iliac region. Okay, the iliac bone, and here you can see it forms a part. This is the acetabulum. Okay, this depression over here, and ilium, it forms a part of the ilium. It forms the edge of the acetabulum. Okay, it meets the ischium and the pubis. Fine. Now the pubis, it is much reduced and it is a triangular piece of calcified cartilage forming the central part of the disc. This is what is referred as the disc. Okay, so the this part. Okay, so the disc is mainly composed of pubis and ischium. A part of the iliac also contributes to the formation of the disc. So the pubis, it forms the central part of the disc and a small part of the acetabulum as well. Now both the pubis are fused in the center. Now ischium is larger and slightly oval bone. You can see over here this is the ischium, and here you can see this is the ischium. Okay, so here you can see it is a very large broad bone, and both the ischia fused in the middle and form 1/3 part of the disc, and you can see most of the part is formed of ischium, and it also forms a part of the contributes to the acetabulum. Thus the disc is formed by the union of three bones contain a cup-shaped cavity. It is the acetabulum, and this acetabulum is meant for articulation with the head of the femur. Okay, so the head of the femur, it fits into the acetabulum. So the head of the femur, femur is actually the upper like leg region. Okay, so the hind leg, the upper part of the hind leg. So this fits over here, the left and the right leg. Okay, so fits into the acetabulum. I hope it is clear. Okay. Now regarding the hind limb, okay, the bones of the hind limb, it is known as the femur, the tibiofibula, the tarsals, and the metatarsals. Okay. Now we will see it in detail. The femur, it is a bone of the thigh region of the hind limb. Okay, this part, and it is long and slender, having a slightly curved shaft. The proximal part here, it is swollen, and it is known as the head of the femur. The head fits into, as we have already mentioned, fits into the acetabulum of the pelvic girdle, and it forms a ball and socket joint. The distal end, it forms a condyle. Okay, condyle means protuberance. Okay, which articulates with the tibiofibula. The head and the condyle are covered by the here. There's a condyle and the head. It is covered by a calcified cartilage. Okay. Now tibiofibula, it is a compound bone of shank region, that is the region below the thigh, that is the shank region, and the tibiofibula, it supports the shank region. It is formed by the fusion of the tibia, which is the inner bone, and the outer bone, that is the fibula. It forms a single compound bone called tibiofibula. Okay. In between the two is a median longitudinal groove. Over here you can see the median. Here it is not visible clearly, but it is a median longitudinal groove. A very small groove which actually demarcates the two. The proximal and the distal ends are covered by calcified cartilage. Near the what you call proximal end, tibia bears a tibial crest. It is not visible, but here it forms a tibial crest. Okay, the proximal end articulates with the femur. Now, the distal end, it articulates with the astragalus calcaneum. This is the part astragalus calcaneum. Okay, now we will see the next what we have is astragalus calcaneum. It is a compound bone of ankle. So here you can see this part. Okay, it is a compound bone of ankle of the hind limb. The ankle consists of two rows of four tarsal bones. The proximal row consists of two long bones. Here you can see the two long bones fused like together at their proximal and distal ends, but is having a wide gap in the middle. So these two are the proximal bones of the like ankle. Okay, and the inner bone is thinner and slightly curved. It is known as the astragalus or tibial, while the other bone is thicker and it is straight. It is known as calcaneum. Okay, so this is okay, here you can see the straight bone, the calcaneum, and this one tender one is the astragalus. Okay, so this is the first set of bones which form the ankle region. Okay, now the proximal and the distal ends of these bones are covered by epiphysis of calcified cartilage. Distal row of tarsals has two very small bones, and it is not so long and so prominent. So that forms the ankle region. So this forms the ankle region. Okay. Now bones of the foot is referred as the pes. Here you can see the foot is referred as the pes, and it is supported by five long, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The five long slender metatarsals, uh, each bearing 5 true toes. Okay, so these are the toes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now these toes have two like it ranges the it bears the phalanges, and the number of phalanges it may vary from one digit to the other. A small preaxial sixth toe composed of 2 or 3 bones is present on the inner side of the first toe. It is known as the hallux. Okay, it is very small, and the sixth toe is called as prehallux or calcare and does not project from the top. It is very small. It is not so prominent or obvious. Okay, so this is with regard to the what you call hind leg. Okay, so we'll just review what we have seen. The here you can see the pelvic girdle. Pelvic girdle, it is composed of two halves. Each half is known as os innominatum, and this is the os innominatum. And each os innominatum is formed of the iliac bone, the long slender bone, and this main plate. Okay, the central plate is formed of the pubis and the ischium. Okay, ischium forms a major part of the this one, and these three bones, it forms a central cavity in the it is known as the acetabulum, into which the head region of the femur fits into. Okay, now hind limb, it is composed of femur, tibiofibula, the compound bone, the ankle, which is composed of formed of astragalus calcaneum, the two bones which is proximal, and another set of two bones which is very what you call small bones. Okay, now the pes or the foot is composed of metatarsals, and there are five long slender metatarsal bones which form the pes region or the foot portion. Projecting out from the pes, there are five digits corresponding to the five metatarsal bones. Okay, and the number of phalanges supporting each toe is it differs from one to the other. It ranges from 2, 3, and 4. Okay, between 2, 3, and 4. I hope it is clear. Okay, so this we have come to the end of Hoplobatrachus tigelinus, and we have seen all the systems in detail, and we have also seen the examples of the classification of frog as well as examples under each order. Okay, thank you.